Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us. My name is Jacob Cole. I do the marketing here at CID Insurance. Today I'm joined by Jonathan Chernoff with USLI. He's the instant quote specialist over there. And today we'll be going over their phone quoting options. But first, I'm going to take you over the logistics just so everyone knows how this is going to work. So you're all muted, as you probably know already. You'll be able to hear but not speak. But please pose your questions in the chat room at any time throughout the webinar, and we'll make sure we stop and get those answered for you. And then at the very end, a little short survey will pop up, so we appreciate your feedback. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Jonathan.
Awesome. Thank you, Jacob. So happy to have you all here. As Jacob mentioned, my name is Jonathan Chernoff. I'm an instant quote marketing specialist with USLI, and we'll get into what all of that means. But for the purposes of this demonstration, what we're going to do is go over what instant quote is, talk about the benefits that it'll bring to your day-to-day activities in the office. We'll do demonstrations for both the phone and web quoting platforms, which make up our instant quote. We'll go over the processes, what to expect after the call, and also talk about our web chat feature as part of our web quoting platform. So we're really excited to bring this all to you. So first, let's go over what instant quote is. So what we like to describe it as is really the quickest way to get a quote in the industry. So when you dial that number there on the screen, 877-969-7539, you'll be connected to one of our 65 plus underwriters. We're going to be ready to assist you and help get whatever risk you're calling in on quoted up for you. So what they'll ask you for is just some key rating information. So that could be simply, if it's a business, maybe the annual revenue, something like that. But what it's designed for is to be able to generate a firm premium for you so that when you present that to your client, it'll be accurate and there won't be any changes down the road. So when we're able to quote that for you, the underwriter will email you a quote directly along with a pre-filled application. So you won't need to re-enter that information that you gave us on the application. That'll already be done for you. And then all you really have to do at that point is get it signed and verified by the insured. So really what we tried to do here is give you all a leg up on the competition. As we know, oftentimes in sales, first in is the one that gets bound up. So again, we just wanted to give you a leg up on the competition there by allowing you to turn that around more quickly. One point I do want to make is that if we're not able to quote something for you over the phone, we are never going to decline a risk on behalf of CID Insurance. So if we're not able to quote it over the phone, we will transfer you back over to CID and they will remarket that risk to any other number of carriers that they have access to. So again, if we're not able to do it for you, it's not the end of the road. So what are some of the benefits this phone quoting service is going to bring to you? So it's going to save you time. And as we all know, time is really valuable, maybe the most valuable thing we have. So when you call in, you're not going to need to submit any sort of application, Acord form. And I know agents, you all love to hear that, no Acord forms needed. And again, we talked about that pre-filled application, so you won't have to re-enter that information after you get that quote in your inbox. Flexibility is huge as well. So oftentimes it's crazy world, we don't know where we're going to be right at any given time. So if you're on the road or wherever, you can simply just dial that number on your cell. Let's say you're driving, you get information from a client, you want to get it quoted up as quickly as possible, gives you the flexibility to do that. We're also available via extended hours. So the reason why we're open so early there is because we are an East Coast company and we are actually looking to extend into later hours into the day as well. But for the time being, Monday through Friday, we are available 4 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Saturday as well, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. So what I'm going to do now is call into that number there that you see on the screen. I'm going to call into one of our underwriters because I really want you all to hear what the process sounds like. I found that makes the biggest impact. So I'm going to call in, get an underwriter on the line. We're going to go through the process of what getting a quote sounds like. So put you on hold for 1 second while I call into that number. One moment here. moment.
All right.
Hi, everyone. So I have Renee on the line here. She's one of our underwriters on our instant quote underwriting team. Hi, Renee. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing well today. How about you?
I'm doing great. So I wanted to show our team here, us with our customer CID Insurance, and we want to show their agents how easy it is to get a quote over the phone. So I'm wondering if you'd be able to help us do a demonstration for a janitorial risk in California.
Absolutely, no problem. So, do you want me to? So I'll just ask you the questions, and then you're going to answer them.
Perfect.
All right, no problem. So thanks so much for calling, and we appreciate you guys taking the time to hear this demonstration today. So we have a janitorial risk, and the first question I'm going to ask, I understand this is in California, correct?
That's correct.
All right, and what are they cleaning? Tell me what they do.
This is just going to be for residential risk, so just residential cleaning.
All right, no problem. We got residential. And how many full-time and part-time workers, including your insured, do they have?
It's going to be 2 full-time.
2 full-time. No part-time?
No part-time.
Okay. And who is the applicant? What's the applicant's name?
For the demonstration, we're just going to use test.
Okay, no problem. And what is the location address? What street address are we going to use?
We'll get creative. We'll go 123 Main Street, and then the zip code, let's use 91932.
32. Okay. Is it Imperial Beach?
That's it.
Perfect. And what general liability limit are you looking for today?
Could you do the 1 mil, 2 mil?
1 mil, 2 million. Okay. And just looking for the GL, would you like? We do have a little inland marine product that we can attach terms that gives them coverage for lost keys, perhaps rental equipment, rental reimbursement.
That's great to know. I think we'll just go with the GL for now, though.
Okay. All right. Well, that's always available to you if you want to call back and add that on.
Awesome.
But let me give you the GL rate. I do have a rate here for you. One moment. And this is an admitted quote through United States Liability Insurance Company. That means that it does qualify for our direct bill options. You don't have to take any money up front. We can break that payment up to a maximum of 2 payments for you if you like. And those instructions will be attached to the quote that I'm going to send you. That all-in premium, including the $50 broker fee, comes to $666 a year for the 1 million, 2 million of GL coverage.
Awesome, Renee. Thank you so much for your help. Really appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. Anytime. Thank you guys for giving us the opportunity.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, everyone. So that's the whole process. So pretty simple, and that's the way we like to keep it. We don't want to make it overly complex. So you call in, again, calling that number, 877-969-7539, and you'll get a hold of one of our underwriters like Renee, who's going to help you get a risk quoted up for you. And I want to give you all a little snapshot of our instant quote postcard here. We'll provide this as part of the follow-up email to this presentation, but just shows all the products we can quote over the phone. So there are over 55 products we can do. And again, no Acord forms needed. But again, we will send this as part of the follow-up note after this presentation. Okay, so we talked to Renee, we were able to get a quote over the phone. Now, what can we expect after the call? So a copy of the quote along with the pre-filled application is going to be sent directly over to you via email. What's also important to note is that CID will also receive a copy of the quote. So why that's important is because when you're ready to bind, all those bind requests need to be sent to your contact at CID Insurance. They cannot be sent directly at USLI, but when you send that to CID, they'll also have that copy of the quote, so they'll be ready to hit the ground running for you when you're ready to get that bound up. And I just want to provide a friendly picture of our instant quote underwriting team here for you. I sat next to this team for a number of years when I was an underwriter myself, and I can tell you that they go above and beyond the call to really help find a home for the risk that you're calling in on and just be as helpful as possible. A lot of them are on the retail side themselves for a number of years, so they can level with you there, but just a really great group. Want to show you a quick picture of them here. All right, so now what I wanted to do is move over to the web quoting portion of the platform. So our instant quote platform is made up of 2 features, the phone quoting feature, which we just went over, and now I want to go over the web quoting feature. So I'm going to exit out of this briefly here. And I hope you all can still see my screen. Jacob, are they able to see my screen here? Okay,
Yep.
perfect. So here is the CID homepage here, their website. Fantastic looking, very aesthetically pleasing. They did a great job. And there's a couple of ways where you can access the web quoting feature. So, excuse me. The first is here under broker tools. And if you click down here, there's that web quote hyperlink that'll take you to the page directly. Also at the bottom of the screen where it says web quote, you can also select that and that'll take you to the appropriate page. So let's go ahead and click that here. All right, and that's going to take us to our web quoting homepage here. So again, no applications needed. We just want to keep harping on that. But here's where you can see the products that you can quote over the phone. So when you scroll down, you'll see commercial, property, liability, nonprofit, professional, hospitality, and liquor. So a number of options. We'll try to stay consistent here with our commercial products. So what we'll do is click that plus button there. Here's a drop down of the products you can quote. So we did janitorial earlier. Let's mix it up a little bit. Let's select trucker's liability here. Okay. So I was already logged in, so that's why that is taking us directly to this page. I'm actually going to log out here because I want you to see what that process looks like to create an account. So let's do this again. With the commercial property and liability, trucker's liability. Okay. So now we need to log in here. So this is what you'll see. And when ready to create an account, you'll simply just click this create new account. It'll ask you for your name, your email address, the name of your agency. That will get submitted and you will be up and ready to go. So pretty easy process there. I already have an account, so I'm going to go ahead and log in again. And if you ever forget your password, you can just click that blue hyperlink you saw there, and that password will get sent directly to the email we have associated with your name. So pretty easy to retrieve. Okay, so for our truckers GL, so these questions here, these eligibility questions, are the same questions that underwriters see when you're quoting over the phone. So again, there are these two platforms available, I should say features available. I should say that I recommend calling in to start out so that you can get familiar with the process, you can talk to an underwriter, but we want you to feel as comfortable as possible quoting with us. So if you prefer the web, this is available to you as well. And you actually do have the option to web chat with your underwriter also. So this orange box here, if you were to select that, you can start chatting with them in sort of an AIM box as you're progressing through the quote. So if you have questions about binding, maybe billing, or just how to answer an eligibility question, maybe it's a little confusing, you have the ability to talk to them in that format. You also have, again, the instant quote phone number, that 877-969-7593, where you can call in and talk to them over the phone as you are going through this process as well. So let's go through some of these questions. So I'm going to select California. I'll say there's been no losses. We'll just click this continue button. We'll put in the name. We'll stick with test. It's worked out for us before. And how many years has the applicant been current location? We'll say 2 years. And we'll say you haven't had a policy with USLI previously. So you always have to type in a short description of the operations when you see this. So I'm just going to put in general freight. Hope I spelled that right. And then we will go to, we'll pick an address here. I think we chose, so San Diego, should be pretty applicable. Okay. And here are the limits that are available to you. So you can select the different limit options you may want. We'll stick with the 1 mil, 2 million here. And then we'll get into some other eligibility questions. So it'll ask you how many units. That means how many trucks are we insuring here? We'll say 2 as well for the liability. And again, some additional eligibility questions. We don't want any sort of installation for this product, so we'll select no there. And it's confirming that it is not, that we are not a residential or commercial mover. So we'll say that's true, that we're not. Sometimes a little bit of an interesting wording. So make sure you're reading the question carefully as you answer that. So we'll go through these here just for the sake of time. We'll answer no for all these. For this trucker's GL product, the nice touch is here, this blanket waiver of recovery. So that's a good one here. Blanket additional insured should be available as well. But again, we'll just select no for now for the sake of time. Hit continue. And that should take us to the final page here. So here's what the end result looks like. So that's it. You got your quote. So we have the quote number here. We have the name of the applicant. We have the premium. any broker fees that may be applicable, the location address, the units and rate. And then what's cool here as well is we have these red hyperlinks where if you want to read those coverage forms, you can actually select those and read those word for word as they're spelled out. What I do want to show you is a copy of the quote. So we'll select that there. Make sure you know what that looks like. Okay, so here's the quote here. So this is what will be sent over to you. So here's page 1, shows the billing options. This is an admitted quote as well. The name, premium, all that information is laid out for you there. I want to show you a copy of the application here. You can see what that looks like. That'll be pre-filled. We also include an excess liability quote as part of this product as well, so that's a nice touch. And if we scroll down, here's the application. So still some additional things to fill in, but again, it's included as part of the quote, some additional questions. And at the end of the process here, you can actually select, I'm going to cancel out of this quote here. We're going to go back to the home page. It says continue to complete right here. So if you want to answer those questions fully, you can continue to complete there and do that so that the application will be complete when ready to present that to your client. The last item I wanted to mention about our web quoting feature is that if you were to answer something like an eligibility question in a way that might make the risk ineligible or where it needs further review, it will get submitted to us and you would have 3 options from there. You can either select to web chat with an underwriter and go over those questions. They can tell you why it was submitted, and maybe we can get that figured out right there on the spot. You can also call in, as we discussed. And lastly, the third option would be is to submit it to an underwriter for review. It'll get sent directly to an underwriter's inbox, and they should get back to you within about 24 hours, I should say. So again, you have all those options available to you if it were to get submitted because something was not answered in a way that we were looking for, where it might need some additional reviewing done by an underwriter. So that's our web quote feature. So again, some really great options available to you there. Let me get back into the presentation here. One moment, please. Okay, we'll go from current slide. All right, so we should be back in business here. So, so our instant quote platform, again, made up of 2 features. Our phone quote feature, which again, we talked to an underwriter like Renee, that number is 877-969-7539. Or you have the ability to quote online at CIDinsurance.com. So again, I want you to feel as comfortable as possible quoting with us. Okay. So again, we talked about the web chat feature. And again, I want to emphasize this for our web quoting feature, that you do have the ability to chat or to call in and talk to an underwriter. It's very important for us that this process is humanized for you. I think so much of what goes on today is automated. I mean, I can think of how many times I call service industry. I get put on hold for 30 minutes just to talk to an answering machine, right? It's extremely frustrating. So we wanted to humanize this process for you. We're really excited to partner with CID on this. I'm sure they agree with us in that message as well. So again, just a really good opportunity for this to be a less stressful, more time convenient process for you to get that small to mid-sized business turned around more quickly. Okay, so here's just a couple quotes here from some agents that have recently used us for the first time. And again, that one at the bottom there, the turnaround time and service, truly amazing. So as I mentioned, I worked with next to this team for a number of years. You're not going to find better service in the insurance industry than what our underwriters are going to be able to provide you, what that team's going to be able to provide you. And even if it's something we're not able to quote as well, you're going to know right away. And we're going to get you back over to CID, and they have numerous markets there that could potentially be a fit for your risk. So again, going to save you time during the day, allow you to focus on the important things that you want to focus on during your day, and get this small to mid-sized business turned around more quickly. Okay, thank you so much for joining us. I really hope that this was informative for you. I want to challenge you all. You invested the time here to hear about this platform, our phone quoting feature, our web quoting feature. Give it a shot. I promise that you're not going to be disappointed. It's going to change the way your day is structured. You're going to have way more time during the day, and it's going to be much more convenient for you moving forward. So With that said, thank you all so much for having me. Stay safe, stay healthy, enjoy the holiday, the end of the year as it's fast approaching, and I'll hand it back over to Jacob here. So again, thank you all so much for having me.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you very much. This was a very informative presentation. And yeah, like Johnson said, I encourage you all to give it a try, phone or web quote. You know, maybe have that human contact on the phone quote. We all need some of that. But yeah, I think you covered just about everything. So if you guys have any questions, you can shoot us an email, info@cidinsurance.com. You can go to our website, contact any of our underwriters there. And yeah, we appreciate your business. So everyone have happy holidays and safe new year. So thank you guys. Bye-bye.